My name is Anderson, and I am 58 years old, and the sentence that split my life into a before and an after did not come from a lawyer, a doctor, or even my wife. It came from my little son, his fingers wrapped tightly around my sleeve, his voice shaking in a way no child's ever should. "Dad," he whispered, eyes darting toward the front door as if it might hear him, "don't go home tonight. I know something about Mom." I remember the exact sound of the refrigerator humming behind us, the way the clock on the wall ticked too loudly, the smell of detergent still clinging to my work shirt. Ordinary things, frozen in place by extraordinary fear. At 58, you think you've seen enough of life's tricks. You believe surprises belong to the young. I believed that too, right up until my son looked at me like I was the one who needed saving. The life I thought I had. For 32 years, I believed I had built a solid, quiet life. Not perfect, just steady. I married Lena when I was 26. She was sharp-tongued, beautiful in a severe way, the kind of woman who could silence a room with a glance. People said we balanced each other. I said she grounded me. Looking back now, I realize I meant controlled me. But at the time, love makes different words sound the same. We had one child late in life, Evan, my miracle boy, my second chance at everything I'd done wrong the first time around. I worked long hours as a facilities manager for a manufacturing plant, nothing glamorous, but it paid the bills, kept food on the table, and gave me something to be proud of. Lena stayed home after Evan was born. She said it was for him. I didn't argue. Over the years, the house grew quieter. Not peaceful, just tense. Lena's moods shifted like weather. Some days she was warm, attentive. Other days she watched us like we were strangers who had overstayed our welcome. I told myself it was stress, or age, or marriage. What I didn't tell myself was the truth. I was slowly disappearing inside my own home. The warning. That evening, I picked Evan up from school like I always did on Thursdays. He was quieter than usual. Normally, he'd chatter nonstop about dinosaurs or science projects or the unfairness of homework. That day, he stared out the window. We stopped at the grocery store. He followed me silently through the aisles, his small hand never leaving my jacket. In the parking lot, just before we got into the car, he said it. "Dad, don't go home tonight." I laughed at first, a reflex. "Why not, buddy? Mom's probably already asking where we are." He didn't smile. "I heard her talking," he said, "on the phone last night." My chest tightened. "Talking about what?" He swallowed hard. "About you." That's when fear crept in. Not dramatic fear, not panic. Just a cold awareness that something was wrong. "What did she say?" I asked gently. He leaned closer, his breath warm against my arm. She said it would be easier if you weren't around anymore." The words didn't land all at once. They arrived slowly, like ice cracking underfoot. "Evan," I said carefully, "are you sure you understood?" He nodded, tears welled in his eyes. "She didn't see me. I was behind the stairs. She said she was tired of pretending. She said tonight might be the night." The world tilted. I had survived layoffs, illness, the deaths of my parents, but nothing prepared me for the idea that my own child was warning me away from my own wife. Choosing to listen. At 58, pride tells you to brush things off, to say children exaggerate, to walk into danger because you don't want to look afraid. But love, real love, tells you to listen. I told Evan we were going for pizza, just us. I texted Lena that work had called me back in for an emergency. Her reply came fast, too fast. "Again." I stared at the screen. "Fine, don't bother coming late." No concern, no question, just irritation. That night, Evan slept curled against my side in a cheap motel room that smelled like cleaning solution and old carpet. I barely slept at all. I kept replaying moments from the past, arguments that ended too abruptly, Conversations that felt rehearsed, the way Lena sometimes watched me when she thought I wasn't looking. At 3:17 a.m. I made a decision. I wasn't going home blind. 4. The truth unfolds. The next day I took Evan to my sister's house. I didn't explain everything. I didn't need to. "You look like a man who just stepped off the edge of something," she said. "I think I almost did," I replied. Then I went home alone, midday unannounced. The house was quiet. Too quiet. I found papers in Lena's office drawer. Life insurance documents, updated recently. My name circled in pen. I checked the computer. Emails erased but not gone. Messages to someone I didn't recognize. Plans, timelines. I sat down hard in the chair, my hands shaking. This wasn't imagination. This wasn't misunderstanding. This was real. 5. The confrontation. When Lena came home that evening and saw me sitting there, she froze. "You're early," she said. "So are you," I replied. I laid the papers on the table. Her face changed, not to guilt, not to fear, but to annoyance. "You went through my things. You planned to erase me from my son's life," I said quietly. For a long moment she said nothing, then she sighed. "I was tired, Anderson, tired of being invisible, tired of waiting. So your solution was to make me disappear." She didn't deny it. That was the moment my marriage ended, not with a scream but with clarity. 6. Leaving isn't failing. I moved out that night, permanently. Legal steps followed, painful ones, necessary ones. Evan stayed with me. Lena told people I'd abandoned her. I didn't fight the story. The truth doesn't need shouting, it waits. Therapy taught me something I wish I'd learned earlier. Endurance is not the same as love. For years I thought staying made me strong. I was wrong. Leaving saved my life. 7. A son's courage. One evening, months later, Evan asked me, "Dad, did I do the right thing?" I knelt in front of him, my hands on his shoulders. "You did the bravest thing anyone can do," I said. "You told the truth when it was scary." He smiled, a real one this time. Children know more than we think. Sometimes they see danger before adults admit it exists. 8. The life after. At 58, I started over. Smaller house, quieter nights, peace I didn't know I was missing. I cook badly, we laugh often, we heal slowly. Some scars don't fade, they teach. I no longer ignore my instincts. I no longer confuse silence with safety. And every night, when I lock the door, I thank God I listened to a small voice with a big warning. Moral of the story. Sometimes wisdom doesn't come from age, it comes from love. Listen when someone who cares about you speaks in fear. Staying silent to keep the peace can cost you everything, but courage, especially the courage to listen, can save your life. I am Anderson, 58 years old, and I am alive today because I trusted my son when he told me not to go home.